Either. I know the light is pretty dark, but I think it kind of fits with this kind of movie. But this is a paid request from my friend Efree, who wanted my thoughts and a commentary on the 2011 film Drive. So let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. As we have the Universal Studios logo showing up. Okay, just want to get things a little situated. There we go. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, I want to make sure things are timed correctly as I'm playing the film. Film district. And then I forgot what fucking logo this was. Some of these movies have like 18 film studios involved. Odd lot. Another fucking one. BOLD, Bold. Okay, I get it. Bold Films. Film. Okay, now we're at the neon light lettering. Platt Motel Movies production. A Nicholas Winding Refn film. Okay. This is a film that I remember when I first saw it. I liked it, but I wasn't sure what I was seeing, meaning it's very noir, almost reflective, cool movie, but that was a time where I was more used to Jason Statham films, like the Transporter movies. At least the first two were the only two good ones. And then when I saw the film, I reviewed it. I didn't like my review. I deleted it. I watched the film again. And it was hypnotizing. And the more I saw the film, the more I liked it. I never hated the film, but I liked it, and then that turned to loved it. Because it has this cool, hypnotizing world that it creates with its exceptional soundtrack, beautiful visuals. Like Nicholas Winding Refn, I don't think he's much of a writer, but he's a great director. And then the cast, like Ryan Gosling, who's a man of few words in this. For the most part, he's a man of few words. Bryan Cranston, as an old buddy of his. And again, you look, the style, and the music. Like, the music is an important part of this film. The music is one of the souls of this movie. Whether it goes into the later songs, which we'll get into later. But yeah, just showcasing the cityscape, the color scheme. And this character doesn't really have a name other than Driver. It has a little bit of work on the camera within the inside of the vehicle. And then in his mouth, I want to say he puts his watch on for the timing. But I want to say in Ryan Gosling's mouth, I want to say it's a matchstick. Now, I don't know if this is true, But for what I understand, one of the reasons Ryan Gosling's character has a matchstick is an ode to Cobra. I mean, I know it was written somewhere, but I've never heard the guy actually say with his own words on video form, oh yeah, that's from Cobra. Because Cobra was Stallone, he had a matchstick in his mouth a lot of the times. See, a lot of times I accidentally say toothpick, but it's matchstick. And it's a cool look to have that matchstick ready. It was cool when Cobra did, it's cool when he does it. I guess in a way this is sort of a more serious, more dramatic version of the transporter. I mean, both have the jobs of getaway drivers who are exceptionally good at their job. The transporter 1 and 2 are more fun, entertainment. This is more of a, again, dramatic, very stylistic movie. Waiting for his buddy to come in for the getaway driver. And when you look out, there's quite a few movies about getaway drivers. There was that film Baby Driver, which I know my friend Efree is not a fan of. I do like that film, but yes, I would say this is a much better movie. But I do like Baby Driver. You know, the transport films I mentioned. There's other movies as well about getaway drivers. I'm trying to think. There's a fun edit I saw recently with Drive, and I forget who the hell was driving though. Damn it. I don't know why I brought it up, but I want to say it's from Nerdist, was it? That was the YouTube channel. I'm trying to remember, this is a nice... How difficult that would have to be where you had a helicopter in the same shot while you're driving. Like, are you on some walkie-talkie saying, okay, helicopter, go a bit lower, go a little bit lower, go a little bit over here, don't deviate too far, we gotta get you in the shot, we gotta keep you in the shot. Yeah, it works out well, man. See, now it's bothering me. Now I'm trying to look that stuff up. One second. And just the cool calculating demeanor of this character. Just not letting anything get to him. Like he's in total control of the situation. Seeing, just waiting for his moment to shine. Waiting for his moment to shine. Get the fuck out of here. They're like, kiss my ass. It's well directed. I mean, they do the job fairly well. Where, look at that nice shaky cam, that confusing. See how this character is smart, utilizing the environment, and even then, just how he's able to easily maneuver his clothing to become part of the crowd. Yes. Another great piece of music. To talking about you. Again, it sets a great tone and beat to the movie. It really does. Almost just want to sit here and listen to it. It's been quite a bit since I've seen this. Talking. Oh, there's something inside you. It's hard to explain. There's something by you, boy. There's something inside you. That's a cool jacket too. Was it like a scorpion on the back of it? Like a silver type of jacket? It seems like a movie that there's a lot of deliberate choices for the way the camera is framed, for the outfit of the driver, all that sorts of stuff. Very bare place, just really nothing in that apartment. Never read the book that this is based on, so I don't know all the differences between it. See, it wasn't written by Nicholas Wayne Refn. That's why it works. Because when Refn tries to write his work, you get bullshit like Only God Forgives, which was a horrible fucking film. And sadly, there's only one film of his he directed that I liked, and it's this film. Of the movies he's directed. To be fair, I've only seen a handful. But yeah, Only God Forgives I hated. This one I really enjoyed. But even then, I could tell that this is a talented director when given the right material and the right script. You know, these stars that are just on the last legs of their career, like Stallone or Van Damme, give them a director like this, or the guy who made that film Mandy with Nick Cage, you know, George Cosmato's son. I can imagine someone like a Stallone or Van Damme doing a film like this, or like Mandy, or something that stylistically impressive. We got Bryan Cranston again. Bryan Cranston, of course, from the TV show Breaking Bad and Malcolm in the Middle and movies like Godzilla and Total Recall remake. Not the best movies, but very solid actor. He was in this film I reviewed a few months ago called The Upside, which was a decent flick. And here we get the idea, of course, that he is a stuntman. Now think about that being an interesting sequel where this guy's a stuntman and he went up against, remember that movie Death Proof with Kurt Russell's stuntman Mike? But if that character didn't die in that movie, and that this is like a crossover, like evil stuntman Kurt Russell versus good stuntman Ryan Gosling, I'd see that movie. Maybe someone should make that edit. To me, I don't have the tools to make edits like that anymore. But if someone out there is talented, make a driver versus stuntman Mike movie. Again, good stuntman who's good in cars, a bad stuntman who's good in cars. Drive versus Death Proof. I'd see that movie. Or as we get the idea that he's not the most social person. Obviously, there's a girl he's seen before that he likes, but doesn't automatically go up to her. So the laundry detergent sun. Probably wonders if that was some significance. Like, this guy needs to get some more sun in his life. Or a more sunny disposition. You look at the window of your car all you want. It's not going to make out with you, buddy. Big six. He's got 6 inches of hard steel for her. I don't know. Big six market. That's how many times you're going to do her in the bed. 6 times. Why at the coin laundry over there? What the fuck is this little kid doing? Staring. Punch you in the face with a fist, kid. Yeah, take your teddy bear, stuff it up your ass. I was being a nice guy carrying the grocery bags. Then I was like, okay, where's my fucking money? Yeah, my money. I carry these bags for you. I want some money or some poontang. Fuck you doing? You had audition for Halloween 3, the remake? Maybe our toothpicks. He has extra toothpicks. I always assumed it was a matchstick. Maybe it is a toothpick. I don't know. I guess I always assumed it was a matchstick. Maybe it is a toothpick. I guess I just assumed it was a matchstick because I remember reading that he was influenced by Cobra and Cobra had a matchstick in his mouth, but maybe the director's like, he thinks it was a toothpick in Cobra, so he just assumed it was a toothpick. I don't know. So part-time he works at a garage, the other part of the time he works as a stuntman driver for movies. I just, in a way, this movie has that feel of like a classical film. I know that doesn't make sense, but the way scenes are framed, the way the music just flows with the film in the right spots, like this subtle but melancholy music in this scene of possible blooming romance between these two. It's just one of those films, I guess, what you call lightning strikes, where a director or whoever, very difficult for it to hit twice. Anino's Pizzeria. Albert Brooks. One of the few only times I've seen Albert Brooks as a villain. I'm sure he's been a villain in other stuff, but this is one of the few times I can think of. Do you see Albert Brooks, the films he directed, or even just films he was in, like Mother, which is a comedy. This is Your Defending Your Life, I believe it was called, and you just don't think of him as a villainous character, but yeah, he pulls off fairly well in this. And Bryan Cranston just begging for this shot for glory. So Bryan Cranston pretty much asking Albert Brooks for $430,000 for to utilize the race and hopefully make more money. And you have Ron Perlman, who who's Albert Brooks' partner and owns this restaurant. Ron Perlman. So great to see. I mean, look at this cast. I mean, you got Bryan Cranston, Albert Brooks, and Ron Perlman all at the same table. That's a pretty damn good cast. And yeah, Ron Perlman, underrated actor. I mean, he was Hellboy in the two Hellboy films. Fuck the new reboot bullshit. It was one of the only decent things I could, well, one of the things I could deal with in Alien Resurrection. My hands are a little dirty, and Albert Brooks went, so are mine. Of course, for very, very different reasons. Yeah, he's not going to shake Bryan Cranston's hand, but he'll shake the driver's hand. Maybe because he has more respect for Ryan Gosling than Bryan Cranston. Yeah, sorry I'm not saying anything. I'm kind of just watching the film now, but I guess, my first thoughts on this might have been a lot of other people's thoughts because the movie, sadly, when it came out, wasn't this big surprise, bonanza hit, very much under the radar. But yeah, if you bring it up today, people are like, oh yeah, Drive, yeah. I mean, there's another Drive I also enjoy with Mark Dacascos. Very different film compared to this Drive, but both solid in their own respective natures. So we got the neighbor and her kid at the garage with Ryan Gosling. A little bit of the blossoming romance. Just dump the kid. Throw him in the damn garbage. Fucking garbage can roll down the hill. Was it a magic trick? You want to see something? Was it like a sex euphemism? You want to see something? Another great piece of music. As they're driving, I always forget what kind of areas these are. I keep wanting to call it the ditches, but when they curve down and the long stretch of barrenness of, can't even call it really a road, but pavement. I always forget what that's called. But another great piece of real human beings and a real hero. But I mean, these are songs that, number one, they're not used in every other movie. I don't know if they were made specifically for this film. And so it makes it unique to this film. And you don't find a lot of movies doing that nowadays. Usually, okay, it's a song we had in the 80s or the 90s that you've heard in 5 other movies. But I can't think of another film that has this song in it. Or the other previous music and pieces of songs. So it makes it stand out within this movie. Again, you don't see that a lot in movies today. But yeah, again, another beautiful piece of music. I mean, people don't realize just how important music is in movies. That's why in so many of my reviews, let me put it this way, if I don't mention the music in my reviews, it's because it didn't do anything for me. Like, that's a sad thing with music, is that it's not that a lot of music is bad, a lot of it's just so much of a manner of indifference. Like, it's there. It doesn't make you feel, it doesn't stand out, it doesn't make you sad or excited or adrenaline pumping or scary. It's just there as filler. and it's hard to even think of filler music when you're trying to explain it in a review or in a conversation. But sadly, I think that's a lot, not all, but a lot of movies today have that type of filler music. Not bad, horrible, or terrible, just there. And if someone asks, how was the music? Even in films I liked this year alone, I liked Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't remember the score to the film, whether bad or good. The Invisible Man I liked. Do I remember the score off the top of my head? No. Whether that's bad or good, I don't know, but on the flip side, the score to VFW was pretty good. Just had a John Carpenter vibe. Like, that's a film in which a score stood out. Or the music stood out. And this is definitely a movie where music and visuals tell a lot more of the story than dialogue. Where some people deem as a bad thing. To me, it's not a bad thing if it's done well, and this does it very well. You know, the soft music, holding the hands in their car, then tells the story. Never been a car guy, as in, I couldn't tell you one damn thing about a car, how to fix it, anything. I may like to look at cars, but I don't know shit about cars. Robert Perlman just having fun with his role with gusto. Like, that's one fine motherfucking pussy ass car, motherfucker. Why hasn't someone made Ron Perlman? I mean, he was the main hero in Hellboy, but like, you have movies like Taken. They did all these actors to be action heroes. Why hasn't someone done that with Ron Perlman? With his actual face? Or like a revenge movie? Could you imagine Ron Perlman in a Death Wish type of revenge film? I could see that easily. He has that intensity and drive. He's a good actor. That was pretty much a warning of Albert Brooks, like, don't mess this up. But just trying to say, I guess in his way, a nicer way of doing it. Like, hey, we're a team. We can do this. It's like, kid, get that foot out of my face and won't jam your head right through the TV screen. Can you imagine that? Just pits the kid up, just right on the TV screen. Elm Street 3 Dream Warrior style. Hey, kid, you're breaking TV. Why are you picking on the kid? I don't know. Just because. I feel like it. Because the kid's a douche. No, I'm just kidding. Nice shots of the cityscape. I mean, I appreciate a film utilizing and color scheme. And one of the things I get mad at certain films, I get it that they're trying to do their own artistic touch, but when they gray out everything, that's one of the things that bud the fuck out of me of a film like Maddie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, is everything looked so fucking gray. It made me go, why the fuck didn't you just make the film in black and white then? You want to take out all the goddamn color, fine, just make it black and white. That's why I almost want to say to some of these filmmakers, just make the film fucking black and white. You want to make it black and white anyway. You've taken all the color out. So many fucking filters you use. But here, I love how colorful the city looks. With the lights and the reflection on the faces. And it is a visual medium. That's why sometimes when I see certain direct-to-video films, there's some that look like they're shot on a fucking webcam. And not like on purpose, but I don't know how you put it. Like, shot with a little... They don't look like films. They look like digital home movies almost. But they're supposed to be like these... I don't know how the fuck to describe them. Like these... It seems like I notice a lot more in some of these action films that go direct to video. It's like if you don't shoot it that cheap, don't do it at all. Such chances are rare, so don't fuck it up. Oh, you will fuck it up because I've seen the movie. So your speech don't mean shit. So stick the beer bottle up your ass. You're gonna fuck it up. You're gonna fuck it up. And we all know it. So much for the romance. Now, new hubby is back. This piece of shit. Ryan Gosling looks like he's going to blow someone's head up Stanner style with his mind. With some of the looks he gives. And Ryan Gosling, I do think is a good actor. I mean, of the films I've seen with him in it, I would say my favorites would be films like Blade Runner 2049 and this film. I do like The Nice Guys. I know my friend Efree's not a fan of it, but I did enjoy The Nice Guys. I'm trying to think of other movies he's been in. I'd have to look up like a filmography. Wow, she looks happy being out on the fucking floor. She looks ecstatic. Go play with the balloons then, lady. Sorry about the noise. That's okay. I'm getting you evicted tomorrow. Hey, honey, I got the garbage. What do you want out of it? Yeah, you jealous bitch. Yeah, I've been helping her with your lady. I've been helping her with her exercise and like night swimming. That's why we're so wet, bitch. I'm gonna drive my foot in your ass. You keep asking me these questions. Tough guy. Go shave your fucking mustache. Your goatee. I'm gonna go over here and throw my kid out with the trash. Fuck you and your good night, buddy. I'm gonna drive through the night until it's time of day. I'm gonna eat some pie and then maybe eat some hay. You looking at me, fool? I'll jam your face in. I don't want some midnight blowjob. I'll hit you again. The fuck? I'll take your teeth down your throat and shut it in. See, that's where you get the danger side of him. Cool demeanor and yeah. That's when he's like, you don't mess with his. You can't blame him. Guy's being stupid. Hey, you remember this illegal thing we did? Let me spout it off on the cafe so everyone can fucking hear and we can be fucking arrested. I don't blame Ryan Gosling's character one bit. I'll kick your fucking teeth down your throat. Exactly. Should have done it anyway. Fucking loser. Just nice camera work from within the inside of the vehicle. I don't drive because I suck ass at it, so usually I walk or take public transportation or something of the sort. Just not much of a driver. The fuck? Damn, this guy's messed up. So Ryan Gosling just found this kid looking at his dad all messed up and bloody. Looks like he got put through the meat grinder. And Ryan Gosling's gonna be like, what the fuck you doing, fool? Idiot. Like you won the talk, buddy. Look at you. Your face is like became TC face with the pavement. Or you made out with a lawnmower. they don't threaten the kid and the girl, and that pisses the driver off. That's the big mistake those guys made. You okay, kid? I'm going throw you out the window in about 5 minutes, so you better say you're okay. We got acorns, peanuts. Oh yeah, it's a bullet. He does something pretty cool with that bullet later on. It sounds stupid. This seems like something that I would almost see in a Western. Where I've never seen it in a Western, but yet the same time I could see like in a Western a little boy given a bullet from maybe one of their 6-shooters, and then a Clint Eastwood type seeing it and getting monumentally pissed off about it. Again, I've never seen a Western, but I don't know why for some reason it makes me think I could see that happening in a Western. I guess that's why part of me, I don't, this doesn't have a modern Western, but that keeps entering my head now. Just not like a Western deals with stuntmen and driving and all that, but I don't know, just maybe just the characters. Then I go back to that classical feel to them. I don't know why he got beat up, you tell me. Why did he get beat up? You should come over. I'll sit on your face. No, I'm just kidding. But, kind of an awkward situation. Hey, remember when me and you were falling in love, and now your hubby here is talking about how he met you when you were 17 years old? That isn't awkward at all. And this is all happening in front of this kid, little boy. Ron Dawson just looking at like, or you know what would be interesting? Ryan Gosling's character versus what's that movie? The Guest, which I wasn't really a big fan of The Guest, but I did like the lead guy, and there are elements I like of The Guest, but overall I don't know, just certain story elements that just bother me. But I did like the lead guy in The Guest, and I did like the style in The Guest enough to go, that'd be interesting. The driver versus the guest, or the driver versus stuntman Mike. Again, if anyone knows how to do editing, feel free. But I have a feeling there was quite a few movies that were inspired by this film after it came out, especially music-wise. It seems like after this, there's a bit more of that techno, not techno, that's the wrong word, but the synthesizer type of feel to the music, which to me is a step up. The fuck you wearing a Puma track outfit? Didn't that go out in the fucking late 80s? Fucking Puma. These are Puma tennis shoes. Just break this guy's fucking neck, man. A toast to from coast to coast. Think the robbery's like a pawn shop. If you're rumbling, I apologize. I haven't eaten yet. I'm gonna eat after this commentary. But it's gonna mess up the webcam a little bit, but I do want to look up a little bit of trivia for this, and as well as the year it came out, 2011. Like what other films came out at that time period, so bear with me. Of course, this ain't going to end well. Usually it doesn't with these kind of movies. I mean, I've already seen the film, so I already know how it's going to end, but I'm just saying. Gunshots going to happen sooner or later. Okay. For trivia, Ron Perlman won the role after explaining to the director that he wanted to play a Jewish man who wants to be an Italian gangster because that's what he is, a Jewish boy from New York. Ryan Gosling replaced Hugh Jackman. Wow, Hugh Jackman was going to do this? Interesting. I mean, I'm glad Ryan Gosling got the role, but interesting. The Hugh Jackman. Yeah, I hit this. Yep. Knew it. He got fucked. Sorry, I'm just now watching the car chase. Very well done. Speaking of which, it says here that although this is a quiet crime thriller, the trailers gave the impression that it was a car chase film a la Fast and the Furious. One woman even tried to sue because she did not get that sort of film. Yeah, I mean, the way it's marketed, it did seem like they were trying to market a full-blown action film where it's not that at all. Oh, was that guy Oscar Isaac? Okay, yeah, from the new Star Wars. I didn't realize that was Oscar Isaac. Damn. Someone getting a beating. Nicholas Winding Refn replaced Neil Marshall as director. Refn was handpicked by Ryan Gosling for the project. So, does that mean it's going to be Neil Marshall and Hugh Jackman? And then Hugh Jackman? And then Ryan Gosling got on the project? And then Neil Marshall left? Huh. Interesting serendipity. Oh, I guess that song Nightcall at the beginning of the film was used in The Lincoln Lawyer. Same year. I don't even remember that. Huh. I mean, I've seen The Lincoln Lawyer, but I don't remember that song. Let's see. Sorry, just looking through the... You think the cops would have been more interested with the kid pick up the phone? It's kind of weird the cops are there. They just let the kid answer the phone. You think it'd be like, well, wait a minute. Who's this calling? Maybe it's a cohort. Maybe it's an accomplice. There's a lot of trivia, but I don't know how much of it is what interest. I mean, people could find the trivia on IMDb. Yeah, Ryan Gosling knows something is up. Because the news said, no money's been taken. It's like, wait a minute. They saw you take it. So he knows there's something conspiracy. See, this to me is a lot more effective than when they try to do in Rambo 5. Now you just got a little boy's father killed. You almost got us killed. And now you're lying to me. So how about this? From now on, every word out of your mouth is the truth. Or I'm gonna hurt you. You understand me? And you see his fist is just shaking, just wanting to punch. Yeah, they don't rip you off. Let's see. Other films of 2011, you had. I mean, that was a year of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, Transformers Dark of the Moon, Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 1, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, Kung Fu Panda 2, Fast 5, The Smurfs, Cars 2, Hangover Part 2. Like, I'm looking at the top 10 films worldwide, like, every single one's a sequel. Harry and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, Transformers Dark of the Moon, Pirates of the Caribbean On Stranger Tides, Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 1, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, Kung Fu Panda 2, Fast 5, The Hangover Part 2, The Smurfs, and Cars 2. 9 out of 10 movies were sequels. Think about that. 9 out of 10 movies. And the one that wasn't was The Smurfs. These are films worldwide gross for 2011. That's pretty fucking sad. Here we go. Oh, shit. Lay's head just got blown off like a fucking maniac style. That's probably the most graphic. That is the most graphic scene in the movie, I would say. I mean, he does do a head stomp later, but I don't even think that's intense. But that head blow, it's pretty graphic. Definitely a wake up call for the audience. Ugh. Impaled the motherfucker right in the neck. A little bit of shotgun there. I wish we had seen the impact of that shotgun, though. We just saw it from his angle, firing it. Would have been nice to see the result of it. Maybe they thought they could only get away with just enough violence. Because sometimes that is the case. And then even then they have to limit it because of MPAA. That's what kills about the MPAA. That one head shot of the on that lady is more violent than most of the. Like, you look at Hard Target, all the stuff they had to cut out to get an R rating, and those are big, squibs, but nothing as big as that. Other films that came out 2011, The Green Hornet, The Dilemma, Hobo with a Shotgun. We got the Adjustment Bureau, we got the Lincoln Lawyer, we got the Source Code, we got Scream 4, Fast 5, Thor. I think Captain America the First Avenger was 2011, I believe. Drive. Definitely one of the better films of 2011, I'll say that. Ooh. Beats the... See, you want to talk about a scene with a hammer. Fuckload more effective than anything in Rambo 5. That's with intention and story. He really smashed that bullet right into the guy's fucking forehead. I think this is where they force feeds the bullet. Yeah, open mouth. Yeah, just swallow, buddy. Let it end. I liked a lot of the camera angles used, the low angle with him squeezing the hammer, showing the intensity and anger, what's going on. And Ryan Gosling just wants out of it, but just take him on the offer, man. But no, that'd be egotistical douchebags like a lot of villains are, and then they get their asses killed. It's like if you just listen to him, you'd have the money, he wouldn't talk, everything would be fine. But no, they think they're teen shit, and they fuck themselves over. But yeah, I'm looking at Ryan Gosling's career. I guess he was in Remember the Titans. He was in a film called The Believer about a Jew who becomes a neo-Nazi. Interesting. Murder by Numbers, which is interesting but flawed. I say interesting because it stars Sandra Bullock. And the plot's trying to be a little bit like a Hitchcock film. Almost like the story of Rope or something. And Ryan Gosling's one of the killers. Someone called the Slaughter Rule. The Notebook I've never seen, but I know Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams apparently hated working with each other. But it's supposed to be a love story flick. Fracture, that's a good one. With him and Anthony Hopkins. That's an underrated flick no one really talks about. But Fracture was pretty good. Legal thriller. I recommend Fracture. Oh, he narrated Regeneration, which is a documentary issues facing today's youth and young adults in 2010. Huh. Place Beyond the Pines. The acting wasn't bad, but I could not get into the story. Gangster Squad. Not a bad movie. I remember being a little bit disappointed with it, but not a bad film. Only God Forgives. Really disappointing, considering. Let's see. The Big Short, I've heard of but haven't seen. Nice Guys, I did like. La La Land I reviewed, I didn't mind it. Blade Runner 2049 I loved. First Man I found very boring. It wasn't Ryan Gosling's fault, just it's about Neil Armstrong. But First Man was just too fucking boring, man. I mean, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. And I'm like, oh yeah, now he's going to be in The Wolfman. Since the success of films like The Invisible Man, they're doing The Wolfman. Could be interesting. I guess really he hasn't done as many films as I thought. I mean, as for films he's the actual star, I did not as much as I thought. I mean, in the past, since Drive, The Eyes of March, Place Beyond the Pines, Gangster Squad, Only God Forgives, The Big Short, The Nice Guys, La La Land, Blade Runner 2049, First Man. That was the last film he's done, 2018. Like 14, 15 movies. We get to the elevator scene here where we get a sense of love and niceness with the kiss, and immediately going to be followed with something very violent. See, the novel Drive by James Sallis was published in 2005. Producers optioned the novel after they read a review in Publishers Weekly. I'll say more about him, just waiting, because his shit's about ready to hit the fan any second. Because he's got an elevator. Yep. And this girl's stumping a mud hole in an ass. Again, that's more the intensity. You don't really see anything graphic. It's more just implicated. Because you mainly just see him stomping down. That was probably cut back because of MPA. Oh, I just have a feeling. The driver intrigued the producers because he was the kind of character you rarely see anymore. He was a man with a purpose. He was very good at one thing and made no apologies for it. Yeah, that's true. A film adaptation was announced early 2008 with Neil Marshall set to direct, planned as a starring vehicle for Hugh Jackman. By 2010, Jackman were no longer part of the project. And Bryan Cranston told who he was and told him about the girl, so Bryan Cranston, he don't give a fuck. You think they give a fuck? Sorry, now I'm looking at the Wikipedia page that has all the pretty extensive info on the making of the film. Even Albert Birch said you should have just taken the money and left him alone. So even Albert Birch had the right idea. And now this because Ron Perlman fucked up. But Ron Perlman stole from the family, and now they need to kill the witnesses. It did well with critics. Drive was picked as the best film of the year by Peter Travis of Rolling Stone, Richard Roeper of the Chicago Sun-Times, Time Out New York, Film School Regests, The Oregonian, and a staff critic from Empire Magazine. The writers for the film magazine Empire listed Drive as their #1 film of 2011. Stab that sucker right in the eye. Yeah, not something typical you see with Albert Brooks. And maybe that's the point, is that it's that much more surprising because it's coming from that guy. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average of C-. Because again, they wanted a fucking Fast and Furious film and they didn't get that, so it's funny how so many people get pissed at me because I didn't like certain films, but I like this film. But yet I hate everything. That's the thing I never understood. You hate everything. There's plenty of films I like. Pick a year. This film included. I like Shawshank. I like Dead Men Walking. I like Crash from 2004. I like this movie. I like... It's like pick All the President's Men and Justice for All, Heat, Collateral. So Albert Brooks is going to talk to Bryan Cranston. Obviously, it's not going to end well. And it shows Bryan Cranston's character that he's not going to give up his friend. With Albert Brooks, I don't understand why you just kill Ron Perlman's character if he's that much of a fuck up. Instead of, oh, I invested hundreds of $1,000s in this car thing. Kills Bryan Cranston with a straight razor. I think his idea is like, don't worry, it's no pain, no pain. That makes it a little bit creepier. Oh, how kind of him. You didn't want to give him pain, but you still killed him. But see, now you gotta pay. Just bay. Go wait by the bay, I just say. Go eat some hay. Day to day. Okay? I was surprised he didn't have anyone waiting for him in this garage car. But in case he shows up, contact me. With an assumption that maybe he would have come back to this garage. Yeah, I think Ryan Gosling has probably a little over 100 words in the movie, but it works for the character. Some people go, well, that sounds like a lot, but we're talking about words, not sentences. Words. Think of a sentence. Now count how many words are in that sentence. And then you realize that a little over 100 words is not that much for, what is it, hour and 40 some minute movie. But I guess you could call this more of a character-driven action film. That could be a way of putting it, or more stylistic action film. But I think that is, in 2011, you were not seeing a tremendous amount of those type of films. I think when I first saw it, I was a bit like, okay, this isn't bad, but it's considering the films coming. I mean, I just mentioned before, look at all the films that came out that year that were huge hits. Harry Potter's, Pirates of the Caribbean's, Mission Impossible's, The Smurfs. Other than that, like all these other sequels and Fast Five, and this is very different from that pack. And then audiences gave it C minus. Even when I first saw it, I would not have given it a fucking C minus. Like, come on. Even if you wanted a Fast and Furious movie, you still look at well done direction and camera work, lush visuals, exceptional soundtrack. This is a creepy image with the stuntman mask, the bald. Looks like Curly from the Three Stooges. No, he looks like Will Sasso from Mad TV. For those who remember, Will Sasso. He also played Curly in the Three Stooges movie. I don't know, he does remind me a little bit of Will Sasso. I would not say I'm crazy about this song, but it is more of a actual like classical music. But again, of the songs, I would say this is not one I would ever listen in my own leisure. But nicely done, practical car stuff. And that is a sad thing nowadays, is that there are times I get comments that people don't, and nothing against the people who asked them, but they don't even understand when I say practical, what that means. Like if I mention practical blood, they don't understand that. What do you mean practical? Squibs. And then they don't know what squibs are. And that's sad in today's age. Well, these little explosive things that you put on and you hit it and it explodes out. Just in my day and age, that was so plentiful. But now there are people that a lot of this stuff is lost. Nicely done. Well, a real car, they probably put on wires in order to flip. Or for all I know, they actually just hit the car and that's its natural descent. But yeah, I mean, because of this day and age of the internet, where back in the day we would have a limited amount of stuff we could watch, because on TV some of us only had 4, 5, 6 channels. So if you were an avid watcher, you would go and rent everything on the shelves and take it back and watch them. Or even if you did have cable, oh, there's nothing on, go to the video store, or I'm going to watch this film, I'm going to watch this film. Nowadays, younger folks, how would they find these movies? How would they find even a film like Drive, let alone a film like Cliffhanger, Double Impact, Escape from New York, all that stuff? What if they luckily, through the thousands of streaming services nowadays? Yeah, Ron Perlman was trying to get away, but nice pan, pull back. Yeah, Ron Perlman didn't make it. His theater did not make it. His ass is grass, so to speak. And the driver is the lawnmower. Yeah, so now him and Albert Brooks are going to have a meeting. Probably wonders it would have been nice to see Ron Perlman's actual death, but in that instance, I thought with the way it was shot, you got the gist of it. That's the thing, like if you're telling an interesting enough story or it's done in a stylistically intriguing manner, it's when a film's not doing that, then you're hoping for the more, quote, superficial, give me the blood, give me the gore, give me this and that. And that's the thing, it just depends on each movie. Each movie has their own rules. Some movies are doing something better that another movie would never even thought of. It's like the difference between slasher films. Like April Fool's Day, I enjoy, but it has no blood in it. But to me, that's a film that has a much better cast and set of characters compared to the norm. Then you take another film that has shitty characters So on top of that, if they don't have gore in that movie, then it's like, oh, fuck that movie. And then people, well, wait a minute, this movie doesn't have gore either. That's kind of a slasher film. Yeah, but because it has other stuff going for it. Again, that's why you look at each film on its own perspective. Like this film, does it have ton and ton action and gunfights and battles? No, but it works well because of the style, because of the cast, because of the direction, because its usage of music. Pretty much saying he's gonna be on the run forever, but the girl is safe. Of course, part of you wonders, did he really tell anybody else about this? Like, he may be truthful in that the girl will be safe, but did he really tell anybody else if he wants this to be so secretive? The fact, the reason I say that is that he stabs him here, so it's not that, oh, you're gonna be on the run for the rest of your life. It's, you know, this whole notion here of, I didn't tell anybody, I want to get this taken care of right now. But you didn't expect to fucking stab in the neck, did you? And once again, you don't really see anything. Again, it's interesting that the most violent parts is that one girl getting her fucking brains blown out. But not the villains. Again, I will say that at least the fact it's all done in shadow silhouette is a bit interesting. Maybe one or two shots would have been nice to see at least the aftermath of Albert Bert's death. And then that's the thing, is that you're thinking he's dead. But then he starts his car and drives off to whatever happens next. I think even the director's been asked multiple times, will there ever be a sequel? And he's like, no. He worded it weirdly. He said, it ends so imperfect, and that's the way I like it. Maybe it's his version of saying ambiguous, where you don't know where he goes next. This thing, like, it's on so long, you think, okay, he's going to cut the black. But the fact that usually he's been sort of the blank stare kind of words of, no, he's going to start the car. Maybe some people will view it, well, maybe he did die and this is his ghost or something, but that's not really the way I looked at it. Oh, there's Albert Brooks' body. Sadly, he can't be with the lady, but again, he'll go off and his own, live his own life. Yeah, maybe he'll be hunted down, maybe not, maybe he'll be fine, maybe, but, he did the right thing and was a hero to these two people. Human being. Of course, I mean, the song says a real hero. The real hero. Anyone, in truthfulness, we don't need a sequel, and that I'm fine with it because so many times with sequels they ruin it anyway, or they butcher it, or they just make a lame ass thing. So sometimes movies as one-offs is perfectly fine. And I think this is one of those instances. The real hero. And he drives off into the distance, and there you go. As it began with him driving, it ends with him driving. Hence the title, among others. So, yeah, really do enjoy the film. I think it holds up. It's a film that, like I said, I first saw it. It got better and better the more times I saw it, and I think it is a wonderful film. It's a film that, well, to put it bluntly, you don't get a lot of that nowadays. Stylistic, well done on its dramatics, even though with limited dialogue, wonderful cast, fantastic soundtrack, and overall a sense of coolness. Stylistic coolness is the best way to put it. So thanks for watching, take care, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you once again, Efree, and see you guys later. Bye-bye.